Hey, what up, everyone? I'm Sinnycool, and this is EverQuest Project 1999. And today we are on the green server on the level 29 Enchanter. In Unrest, we're going to be doing the Fireplace, the FP. I finally got it. I finally did it. I've been trying to capture this for a while. Sometimes that's what I'm doing here. Like I want to just capture certain camps, put them on my channel, whether you watch or not, it is what it is. It's just like I got a checklist in my brain, and I just want to get it on video. I want to experience it, but I want to also capture it on video just to have it for all time. I don't know. I don't know how that's, but whatever. I do though. If you the next video I'm gonna make after this one, I have a new dad camp, and it's a real good one. So better than the last one, better than Gladara. Most of the time, like Gladara was kind of a so-so kind of dad camp. The next one I got though is great, and I'm going through 30, the first hell level, um, pretty quickly with this next dad camp. So check it out next Wednesday. I should have that for you. And I'm probably going to be by like 31 by then. I'm going to get it for you next week. So stay tuned. Put those notifications on. Subscribe, please. You guys are the ones that could get me to 8K. The EverQuest people here. You guys are awesome. It's one of my favorite games ever. So if it's your favorite game too, hit that subscribe button. I make videos once a week, every single Wednesday. I might start ramping it up if you guys start watching more. But at least once a week because I love the game and I want to capture stuff and I like to play it. So yeah, this one we're gonna do the Fireplace. Was our weekly session. Me and Trey, the Ranger. He's 30, I think, 30 Ranger. So trying to get the Fireplace going. I went in here one day and it wasn't camped, and I started trying to solo it because I'm almost to that level. Like I'm level 29, and the Fireplace I think falls off once you get to like 32, 31, somewhere around there. I think once you get into your 30s, you're supposed to go down to the basement maybe, or at least that's where you can start to try to go to the basement. We've also already done the basement, but that was because we had like a level 37 Necro with us. So check that out. I did that 2 weeks ago, I think. Maybe 1 week ago. I don't know. But I did the basement on Unrest already. We've done all the camps in Unrest. The only thing I haven't done is Hag Tower. So I've recorded every single camp in this entire place. So we will be done with Unrest after this unless I do the Hag Tower, which should be the last thing. Or some other weird solo camp like a dad camp or something like that. But I'm pretty sure this is the second to last Unrest unless I don't get the Hag Tower. So yeah, start of the group here is me and this Paladin. He was I did a camp check and nobody was there, and I'm sorry about the audio. It does kick in here in a little bit, so um, yeah, I know the audio is not working at the moment for the game, but I remember and I turned it on like 5 minutes in, so don't worry about that. But yeah, me and this Paladin start the group. He's like a 27-ish. I can't remember. Probably says it there somewhere. You guys probably already saw it in the chat. Um, and then Trey comes, so 30 Ranger, 27 Paladin, and me, the 29 Enchanter. So that's the start of the group. It goes pretty well, and yeah, let's get into some action. Let's at least get to where Trey's here. I'm trying to get a pet at the moment. I think he's bringing me things. So I get my first pet, a skeletal monk. One thing I can let you know, some advice for Unrest, if you're an enchanter or a necro or anybody that charms, you kind of want to charm something in the area where you're fighting. Because I've had it happen before where I was in the main room and somehow I ended up charming a ghoul from the basement maybe. Like there was a train and only a ghoul was like walking back by itself, so I was able to charm it. And then it caused this whole gigantic train because after like the first fight, the ghoul ran back to the basement for some reason, and then he brought all his friends back when he I don't know. So that's one tip I can give you. I saw it here, another example of it. We have another enchanter coming later in the video, and she ends up charming something from like downstairs or outside, or I don't know where she got it, but it wasn't from around the FP, the Fireplace. So she had trouble with it too. Like it ran away. Somebody had to camp out or something. I can't remember, but it didn't turn into a train. But it was the same kind of problem where the pet would just run away to. I don't know why they do that, but it is a thing in Unrest. So just be cognizant of that. If you're going to charm something, you probably will need to charm something from the area you're in. Now, one caveat to that is if you're in the main room, you can charm something from out in the yard. So maybe you get a jack-o'-lantern or a ghoul from out in the yard and bring it into the main room. That does work, but I don't think you can like charm something from the basement and have it fight in the fireplace. And I don't think you can have, you can't charm something from the fireplace and have it fight in the main room and stuff like that. I don't think it works like that. Unfortunately, you think it would if you're controlling it and having it guard and stuff, but it didn't work for me, and I saw it here not working for another enchanter. So that's 2 times, and now I'm confident enough to say that it's not a good idea. Gave my skeletal monk pet a torch and a whip. That's the tentacle whip from the tentacle terrors in the basement. So I thought it was pretty cool. I forget what that does. I think it just saps their strength or something like that. So we got my pet. We got Trey, the 30 ranger. We got the 27-ish paladin. So a good start to a group. Enchanter here. Because, I can do crowd control. I got a pet. Trey can pull or be melee. A little bit of heals there, and then we got the paladin, who's our tank slash other healer. So pretty good start to a group, if I would say so myself. So maybe we'll let's get going. I got like 2 hours of footage, so we're gonna have to skip through it a little bit. Like I kind of want to see how we're doing. Oh yeah, then the cleric comes next. This cleric was amazing. He's not my favorite person ever, but he was a good cleric. He's a good player. He's one of those people. He's really good at the game, but he's not the most friendly. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to say it. He ends up gating away after we lose a couple people, like without too much of a. Like we were grouped for 2 hours, and we did really well, and I think he died 1 time, and that's the only person that died the entire time. He got a full res, so it was no harm, no foul, because somebody in our group had a 60 cleric in Unrest. So he was the only one that died the entire time. It was his own fault for pulling a bunch of hags, and otherwise he was doing amazing. I'm not saying he was bad or anything. He had 1 mistake the entire time, so he's really, really good, and he's like level 20. So shout out to this guy, Sprinkledorf. I called him Sprinkle. Maybe that's why he was mad, because his actual name is Sfinkledorf, and I called him Sprinkle a couple times. So maybe that's why. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. He was great. He was a good cleric. I should probably just cut it there. The paladin was great. I think he was the first one to leave. That's the only thing I remember that was not too great about that. But he stayed for a long time, so no big deal. And then Trey, like always, is good. So yeah. But 20 cleric. Look at all the gear he has. I think he has his. What is that? He has some good stuff there. That helmet. He's got a lot of good stuff. So he was keeping up just fine. Didn't have any trouble except for that 1 pull, which we may see on video. Just a little teaser for you. Got the monk going crazy with the whip and the torch. We got Trey swinging his big old sword. We got the paladin, who also switches weapons later. He has this gigantic like pole arm. It's pretty cool. And then the awesome cleric healing and whatnot, maybe pulling sometimes. When we don't know a certain pull, he would go pull. So he's obviously got other characters and knows what he's doing. So yeah, this is the start of the group. I thought this was great. We got a cleric now. All we really need, we don't really need anything. We just need melee. So we have a tank. Paladin's perfectly functioning tank in my opinion. One of the better, maybe not the best. Is that maybe the 3rd best tank? What do you guys think? Put it in the comments. What do you think about tanks? Like out of the 3 tanks, what order would you put them in? I always thought warrior was the best back in the day, but I've heard people say that Shadow Knight might be the best. And I just clicked around, so if it's lagging. But there's the audio. Get the audio at least. If it's lagging, that's my fault. I just clicked on something, checking on the video. So it'll figure itself out here in a second. Come on. Come on. There's a lot going on. I know. And I clicked on stuff, so. Alright, there we go. Alright, so the first big pull here, and I need to start enthralling. I got the zombie. Time to get the bat. Enthralling. Got it? Before it even attacked the cleric again. Starting to click around, trying to get on. I'm terrible at targeting. I had a mid performance here. An average. I was an average enchanter. I don't think I did great or anything. I'm not, you hear me calling out other people and for what they're doing wrong. I honestly don't. My evaluation of myself in this group was maybe an average enchanter. I wasn't doing awesome. But I got everything locked down. They're killing them one at a time. Just like the targeting, I haven't taken the next step yet to where I'm figuring out the buttons to target and maybe %T and maybe macros and all that. Like I know what my spells do and I cast the right spells usually and nobody dies and everybody has clarity and everybody has aug And I have a pet. I have a charmed pet that I'm fighting with. Like, I think I'm a decent enchanter, maybe even above average. But I wasn't feeling like I was doing amazing. Starting to learn how to recharm pretty good. I throw that color shift. Sometimes I'll throw Tosh, but sometimes, like, if you do color shift and then Beguile, like, right after it, you can, they don't even hit you. Like, you can get it off pretty good. Like, that stun stays long enough to where you can cast Beguile. So sometimes if they don't need to be toshed, like I already toshed them, then I won't do it again because it takes some time. I guess I could tosh, then color shift, and then Beguile, but, yeah. In the moment when things are happening as an enchanter, you're kind of like panicking, panic clicking sometimes, and you just are happy that you did things, the right things, even if they weren't in the right order. The other thing was all the corpses on the ground. Like, I just couldn't target things. If I could target things better, I would have done so much better. Like, sometimes I was, like, when there's multiples, like, let's say there's 3 skeletons, and I'm trying to click on the right one to where, I know you can tab, but you guys don't understand. Like, my laptop is horrible, and the buttons don't correlate to what you think the buttons should be. Like, I could hit tab, and it would not be the right button. It wouldn't cycle through. And I could look at the options and look at the keybinds, and it still wouldn't be the right button. Like, even if it says tab, it's not tab. I don't know what's going on with this crappy laptop. And I have, like, a keyboard plugged in because my keyboard's broken, so, like, the buttons on the keyboard don't even do the same things as the buttons on the laptop, and sometimes I use the laptop buttons, and sometimes I use the keyboard buttons, and they're different. Like, if I want to change my camera, I have to push, like, Alt F9 on the laptop. But if I want to cycle through my camera on the keyboard, I just have to push F9 and that's it. No Alt. Like, that's an example. So if you see me flailing around not being able to target things, it's because the keybinds don't work like they say they do, for me, at least. I know for everybody else, you're like, what the hell are you talking about, bro? Like, I can just tab through targets, or whatever you do. Whatever the button is to tab through targets. Like, that's how you do it, dummy. Blah, blah, blah. You just tap through targets. Well, guess what? If you were sitting here in this chair with this laptop, you would not be able to do that. So then what would you do? Let me know, because I really want to know. I do. Like, maybe I could change the keybinds. I don't... Maybe there's something on my laptop I can change. I'm not sure, but at the moment, it's not working like it should. So that's why you see me flailing around a little bit. Remember back in the day, if you've been watching for a long time, which I doubt there's anybody out there, except for maybe Trey, and Faceless One, that have been watching for a really long time, but put it in the comments if you have been, I really appreciate it. Remember back when I was starting my Necro, even up till he's like level 50-something, maybe, I was using a touchpad laptop, no mouse, and I still made it to 50, 60 on my Necro. So that's how crazy this laptop is that I'm using, and it's horrible. It's like the cheapest one you can get, and that's what I got. That's the equipment I have to work with. So you have to give me a little bit of slack. Like, if you think I'm a 4 out of 10, give me a 5 because of my crappy equipment. Like, give me one more. Just give me one more. I don't know. I think I'm like a 6 or a 7, so maybe I'm actually a 7 or 8, but it's this freaking... I'm telling you, it's partially the equipment that I have that's making everything worse. The macros, yeah, that's just me being lazy. I need to figure out macros because, you know, to tell people what's missed. I was messing with it the other day. Like, I have a wand that has Alliance on it that I think is a global cooldown, and I was trying to drag it over to make it a button, and I can't remember how to do it because I did it with my Journeyman boots on my Necro, but it's because it's in like an inventory slot. So I could just... This is something I'm actually wearing. How do you do that? And remember, my buttons don't work the same as yours, so you could tell me exactly how to do it. It might not work. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. But here's the reanimated hand. That's one of the names here. That's probably something you would want to know. Like, what's the names? Why do you fight in the fireplace? And what levels can you do it? I think the main room, you can go up to like 20-something. I think by 25, 26, 27, you should probably be heading up to the fireplace. I can't remember exactly, but I did do videos on main room and all that, so you can go back and watch to see exactly when. But I think when you're like 25-ish, you could start thinking about the fireplace. So we did have a couple... We have a level 20 right now. I think that Enchanter we just got is like 23 or 25 or something. I think I looked it up. You guys probably saw and I didn't. I just can't remember. Maximum CC now. At a certain point, she asked me, am I slowing or not, and should she slow? And I just told her to go for it because they were dying so quickly. Sometimes I don't slow. I do a lot. Like, it's on my bar. You can see it there. But sometimes it just feels like they're dying so fast. It's a huge waste of mana. Because it takes a big chunk. It takes a big chunk of mana to slow something, and it's a lot of aggro. So when things are dying so quickly, and I'm controlling a pet, and I'm mezzing, and I'm keeping on top of clarity and augmentation, and recharming and all that stuff, like, sometimes there's not enough time to throw a slow. If it's a difficult enemy, 100%, I'm ready to throw it. I got it on my bar. But, yeah, since we have two of us, that's cool. Like, hey, you do that, and I'll do this. It gives you something to do. She was helping Mez. She was slowing. Like, she was a pretty good enchanter. Didn't really... I don't know. I don't know why I always evaluate everybody's performance, but everybody was good. Nobody did anything bad, and we didn't die. We didn't... I don't think. I mean, you guys will have to keep watching. Don't let me spoil you. Maybe there's a huge train and we all die and we wipe out. Is that what you want to see? Because it might happen. You never know. What's the other stuff in here? It's so you got the the hand, right? The hand, which drops Ivory Bracelet, which is a 3 agility, 20 mana wrist item. So not a bad first wrist for anybody that uses agility or mana. Oh, one other thing I could tell you, another tip, which isn't really a tip, it's just kind of a warning, is when you have a pet up here, a charmed pet, it loses health so fast because the hags do like an AoE, and your pet's always gradually losing health. So I didn't really have a solution for that. I would have my pet sit every once in a while, but it's so slow. And I know I could do the memory blur thing, but I feel like it would take too much time. There's too much going on. Pools were happening back to back to back to back. So to keep on top of everything I was trying to do, there was never a minute for me to sit there and memory blur my pet and get its health back. So I was like sending Trey tells like, hey, can you heal my pet? Because I know you're probably not using your heal because we have this cleric and that paladin. He might be using his mana on other things, but I was just like, hey, if you get a chance, can you throw my pet a heal every once in a while? So that's what I don't know. That was my solution. Send my buddy a tell and see if he could throw my pet a heal every once in a while. Of course, you could break your pet, kill it, get your stuff, recharm. That's a hassle sometimes. You can't, there's nothing to recharm, or you don't want to take something from your camp. You already got something perfect that you want. Like, I want the monk. He's got the weapons. He's doing good. I don't want to recharm. I don't want to get something else. I don't want to kill it. It's just a one experience. This thing just resisted my enthrall twice. Now I'm running around like an idiot. My pet took it. So sometimes stuff is resisting. If you see an enchanter that's not mezzing, it's not that they're terrible. Maybe they just resisted. Maybe something just resisted multiple times, and now a pet's on it or something. So, and this isn't why my pet dies. Like, he gets his health back. Maybe this is partially why, because he's soloing this Greater Darkbone, or he's trying to. But we got hags. We got festering hags. We got Darkbone skeletons. Greater Darkbones. What else drops here? Alright, so you have the Reclusive Ghoul Magus, who drops the Savant's Cap and the Dusty Bloodstained Gloves. So the hand is up the stairs right there. If you look to the left a little bit from where I'm sitting, and you head down that hallway, there's some stairs to the right. If you go up those stairs, there's like a werebat and a couple other mobs up there. If you clear that out, and you go through the door, there's like a skeleton in the hand. So you can pull the hand, you can get that ivory bracelet. And it's only level 21. All you got to watch out for is, I think, it charms and stuff like that. So if you... But he's 21, so if I'm 29, he's probably not charming me. He's one of the lower level things up here. I don't understand why the hand is such a low level when he's way up on the freaking roof. But that's cool, because he won't be able to charm you as easy. A Reclusive Ghoul Magus. This one is, if you look straight ahead, you go to the right a little bit, You don't go up the stairs to the right. You go to the next door after the stairs. You go in that door, and then you go upstairs in there. That's where the Magus spawns. He drops the Savant's Cap, which is Wisdom 3, Intelligence 3, AC 2, all. So another thing that a lot of people could use. Pet broke. What do I do? Color shift. And he interrupted me. So try it again. Got it that time. Tashani this time. And then Beguile. Both our pets broke at the same time. You see that? That was happening quite a bit. So the monk's down to 40% already. That's when I start to worry about it. But taking him over here, telling him to guard, so if he breaks, I have more time to react. The other Enchanter was doing that as well. She was taking hers like across the room, but then she started taking it where I was taking mine. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because I don't know exactly where the best spot is. That's where I was doing it. Gave me like 1 second to react. But anyway, the Ghoul Magus. What else does he drop? He drops those gloves. I think they're like 25 mana gloves. Let's check it out. Dusty Bloodstained Gloves. Mana 25 AC2. Necro, Wizard, Magician, Enchanter. All races. And I actually get those later, and it's an upgrade. I was looking at my equipment, and I was like, what the heck? I still have cloth. I know that I just upgraded, but I swear I had gloves, and I swear I had a back piece. And I swear I had, like, I don't know. Like, I was looking at my stuff, and I'm like, what the heck? Where did all my crap go? But maybe not. I'm not 100% sure on that, so it is what it is. He says everything is down. We got this locked down. Another piece of advice I can give you is if you go up the stairs there to the right, there's a room right there. I think it's like the Undead Barkeep. We'll talk about that in a second. But if you pull that room, I think the hags from upstairs come too. So you got to know that and be careful. I think. I'm not 100. It happened to me and I died before I did this camp. Like a day before that. I died because of that, kinda. I'm shouting out for more people. Fireplace looking for one more. Right now we have the Paladin, the Ranger, the Cleric, and 2 Enchanters. Alright, what else do we got up here? Like, why do people camp this? I previously thought this was called the front parlor, but that does not make sense now that I think about it. It is called the Fireplace. That's what it says on the wiki anyway. This is not even the front of the building. So maybe there's another camp called the front parlor. Maybe that's where, I have no idea. Maybe that's where the, Lesser Blade Fiend and, like, the ghouls are and stuff downstairs. Because they're both FP, though, so it's confusing. So if they're calling it the front parlor, they should come up with some other name for it, because they're both FP. So if you say FP, you're thinking fireplace, and then they actually mean front parlor or something. But this is not the front parlor, because this is the back of the building, so why would it be called the front parlor? And there's a fireplace right there, so I think it's fireplace. Even though there's no fire going, it's just a place. It's a blank place. It's Taylor Swift. Blank space. Alright, let's see what else spawns up here. You got the Undead Barkeep in the bar room. Drops the Opaline Earring. That's good for enchanters. AC2, Charisma 5. None of this stuff is really worth too much, I don't think. Maybe this is Fonts Cap. What is going on? I got like a pop-up on my screen. Alright, come on, go away. Hopefully y'all didn't see that. This crappy laptop with its pop-ups all day. Got a Werebat and a Carrion Ghoul. What do? I enthrall something. The Carrion Ghoul. I'm pretty good at picking the right thing to miss. Like, I notice what they're fighting, and then I miss. So, there's always a slight delay. Remember that, too. If you have an Enchanter in your group, normally they're just going to be amazing, and you have no complaints. But, occasionally, if you get one like me who's just above average, you might find that they're taking 10 seconds to miss. Because they're trying to click around and get the right target. Or they're trying to see, like, what you're attacking. You know, what's losing health. And then switch to the other one. So it takes a second to see like what people are fighting. It also drops the thick leather apron, THICC, 8AC, and that's it. So if you have nothing else on your cod piece, you can wear that thick leather apron and cover it up. Get your balls warm. It's kind of laggy right now. What is going on? Alright, so that's, you know, the Undead Barkeep. That's good for Enchanters, the Charisma. Nice earring that they want to see drop. So really good spot for like an Enchanter to be camping. That's another reason I wanted to do it. Even though I don't need all this stuff, except for the gloves I did need. I already have the earring and I already have a headpiece, but that's why previously, when I was like level 25, I would have loved to get in this group, but I just couldn't make it happen. Okay, we have an Undead Knight of Unrest, which I think you can pull from the tower, maybe? It depends if there's somebody up there or not, probably. It's above the bar room. You have to go up the stairs, and so that's why you got to be careful when you're pulling the bar room, because it may also pull the Hag Tower. Correct me if I'm wrong. You guys know I'm not an expert. I'm just a 60 Necromancer with a 54 Shaman with a 30 Enchanter. That's all I am. I had a warrior, level 60 warrior back in the day. That's all I am, so I'm not an expert. You guys let me know if I'm wrong in the comments. Bloodstained Mantle, AC 6, Strength 3. It's for like Warrior, Cleric, Paladin, Ranger, Shadow Knight, Bard, Rogue, and Shaman. All races. Something to wear on your shoulders. Unrest will be like the first place you go that you're going to start getting equipment from drops, from camping things, from being in groups. You're going to start getting drops. Like in Crushbone, you're probably not going to get anything. You might get the shield from the trainer. You might get a dirk from if you ever go into the throne room. But otherwise, you know, you're probably not getting anything from Crushbone except for a bunch of belts and a bunch of experience and a bunch of shoulder pads. But Unrest is like the first dungeon, if you're in this area, that you will start actually getting things that you can wear and use. Pretty much starting with the fireplace, too, because I think the main room doesn't really have too much. It has, like, maybe one named, unless you go pull the Lesser Blade Fiend and, like... Starting to learn. Remember, I never played Unrest before this Enchanter. So that is why I'm so adamant that I want to get all this on record. Just one time, man. Let me out this one video where I record the fireplace, and we can move on to something else. We got the Reclusive Ghoul Magi. That's a named right there. So I'm trying to click around and get something. I think I mez the pet. You see me there? Reclusive Ghoul Mage. Reclusive Ghoul Magi pet. Nothing. Reclusive Ghoul Mage. Reclusive Magi pet. Reclusive Magi pet. I cannot get this thing. Now, finally, I get it. When they're probably almost done with it. Yep, of course. So I was late on that one. Making the cleric work harder. The more I watch and the more I remember, maybe that's how it went when the group ended. He's like, if that Enchanter did much better. Like, I could do Mesmerization. I just feel like it's a magnet. Like, it pulls everything to me. And it doesn't mez what I want it to mez. I mean, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it more. Like the AoE mez. It'll buy me some time. Like, I need to start putting that on. Just casting it first. If something charges me, maybe color shift and then enthrall. It might be a good thing so it can separate it. I just don't want stuff attacking the I don't like getting aggro with my paper skin. Two more there. We have a rogue, but that rogue is level 19, so guess what? They don't get experience. And cool. I hate when that happens, but I keep switching targets. And by the time I get it freaking mezzed. It's frustrating, but now what? Now they switch again? What am I supposed to do here? Alright, she made it her pet, so that's fine. But yeah, the rogue wasn't getting experience. So I guess 19, you can't group with the 30. We're learning stuff. An Undead Knight of Unrest. Let's look it up. think I already talked about the Bloodstained Mantle. Okay, the Tunic. AC 13, Wisdom 4, Agility 4, Warrior, Cleric, Paladin, Ranger, Shadow Knight, Bard, Rogue, and Shaman. All races. Yeah, we're cruising right along. Looking for our last member. My pet breaks. I color shift, but it fizzles. I do it. It fizzles again. Finally, it goes off. Here we go. And he punches me one time before he gets recharmed. And that's another thing. I know I keep making excuses, but sometimes when there's a pool and there's mezzing that needs to be done, sometimes the Enchanter's pet will break right then. And they have a pet pounding on their face. And they're dealing with that, so... Will you stop? Look at him. Being a jerk. Another thing, that Cleric has the AFK tag on the whole time. Which I do too. I mean, I do Anon. I don't know why he would at level 20. I mean, you don't even have a res. He's level 20 something. He might be 21, 22. I just remember him being pretty low level and he was doing great. Alright, I think everything's fine right there. I just got my pet out there fighting that single mob. The Enchanter's recharming or something, her pet. Maybe not. Okay. I think she couldn't control it, so we were killing it now. She kept looking for a pet. She was constantly at the beginning, like, for the first, 30 minutes of her being here, she was constantly switching pets and looking for a better pet. Looking for one that was actually going to work for her. Like, she would charm one thing, it would be too high level. She would charm another thing, it's from downstairs, and it would run away. She would charm another thing, it would die. Like, she was trying. But yeah, let's go ahead. I don't want to make this... I know, long EverQuest videos I feel like are good. Like, people want to actually sit here and watch it sometimes, but maybe around 45 minutes. I don't want to make it hella long. So let's go and see, who we end up getting for our last slot. Thick leather apron just dropped there. This Enchanter gets a couple upgrades. We got the Lobster Queen. Very good addition. It's another Paladin. She looks like she has full Rubicite. She's got that fashion quest going on. So there she is right there. You see her? And, so she's the one that's has the level 60 Cleric. You never know who you're inviting, so if you don't need any particular thing, if you already have a Paladin and you can bring in another one, man, just fill that last slot, because you never know who you get. You might get a 60 Cleric in disguise. So now we have our full team. And it stays like this for quite a while. I think the first person to leave was Kenosis, but he was also the first person to join. So eventually we lose Kenosis, and then we bring in a mage. And then, 15 minutes later, the group ends. So then I felt a type of way about bringing the mage in, because the whole group dissolved. I thought maybe they could keep it going without us. So here's what happens. At the end, Kenosis leaves, right? Then we keep going. We have the mage. We keep going for, 15 minutes. Then, Trey and the other Enchanter have to leave. At the same time. So we got a new person, a full group, and then 2 people have to leave. I ding, and then Trey and the Enchanter leave. So now we're down to 4 people. We got a mage, the Cleric, me, and Lobster Queen. I don't know why. I was saying, I gotta go. I gotta go eventually. I can stick around for 15 minutes, try to find a replacement. I was really trying to keep this group going for them. I don't just think of myself. I think the more you watch, you'll believe me. Maybe you don't believe me right now, but I don't just think about myself. So I know I gotta go. But I know, Trey just left, the Enchanter just left, I'm an Enchanter. That's the worst case scenario. My duo just left, which they don't think any of them knew that, except for maybe Kenosis, who was already gone. The other Enchanter leaves, so now you're going to have 0 Enchanters when I leave. You're only going to have 3 people now. So I was sitting there for at least 15 to 20 minutes, like OOC and Fireplace looking for more. I was just trying to get them something so they could have a potential. Because they're just going to have a cleric, a low-level paladin. Lobster Queen is pretty low level. A low-level cleric, a low-level paladin, and a 25, 26 mage. So they kind of knew that they weren't going to be able to do it if I didn't find something. And even once Trey and the Enchanter left, we barely did anything. But one thing that kind of rubbed me the wrong way was Lobster Queen said, like, hey, I'm going to go get my 60 cleric. I'm going to give you guys all these buffs, and we're going to keep going. So she logs out, logs back in, brings her 60 cleric all the way to the fireplace, gives us the buff, heroic bond or whatever it may be, and logs out or goes down and like starts buffing everybody in the zone, and then she comes back. And then as soon as she gets back, like the cleric just gates away, like with no explanation. Like he's done. He's done. Nobody else matters in the world, so he's done. He's gating away. That's how it felt. And I felt bad for Lobster Queen. I felt bad for the mage. Like, I just told this mage to come up here. She's only been up here for 10 or 15 minutes. And now the group is dissolving in front of my eyes. And like, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't know this was going to happen. I'm sorry, I'm sorry you joined a group and it dissolved in 10 to 15 minutes. I hate when that happens. And then the other person I felt sorry for was Lobster Queen, who logged out, got on her 60, gave us buffs, went and buffed other people, came back, and then as soon as she got back, boom, the cleric gates. Like, I got my buff, I'm out of here. This group is doomed. That Enchanter's leaving, and we're not going to be able to handle this, so I'm just going to gate without telling anybody anything. He just said, I'm gating. Or something. Like, it wasn't even... So I was going around apologizing to everybody, and nobody was having any of it. I was like, all right, well, whatever. I mean, if nobody... I said my piece. I don't feel bad now, because I said sorry to the mage. I said thank you to the paladin. I think the paladin said something like, no worries, but the mage wasn't even talking to me. So that's your right, but... You see, I'm like one bubble away from a level. This is really good experience. I was very surprised. So you can still get pretty good experience at 29 in the fireplace. I don't know about 30 with the hell level. But Trey said he got like a couple bubbles, which sounds pretty good for a hell. It's the first hell. It's not that bad, but you'll notice it. Let's go see my ding and maybe me getting the bloodstained gloves, and then we'll get out of here. But yeah, the hand is here, the Ghoul Archmagus is here, the Barkeep is here. Some good stuff for enchanters, some wisdom stuff. Not bad. It's the first like good camp you're ever gonna do if you're over on this side of the world. And I was trying to figure out how to get in it and how to record it. It's not that it's super desirable, and I like was wanting to. I really want to do the fireplace because it's so, yeah. I just wanted to record it basically, but it is good. I mean, I got 2 bubbles left, and I get the level. I'm looking at all my equipment like, what the heck? Why do I have a small cloth shawl? How'd that happen? I have like a cloth back or something. I swear I had one of these 2. And I don't know what happened. Like, I died and I looted the wrong stuff and then I sold the wrong stuff. That's the only thing I can think of. And I have I have nothing in my finger slot, for real. I mean, I think that's been like that, but the amount of cloth I have on, I was like, I swear I had more stuff than that. I don't know what happened. And I had died in between noticing it. And then I sold. So the worst combinations of things happened in the worst order. I died. I looted my corpse. I went and sold. And then I noticed then I started questioning my equipment that I had equipped. It was like the worst combination of things to happen back to back to back. You're thinking in your head, oops, what if I looted the cloth and it went straight into my equipment and then I sold the other thing thinking it's the cloth without checking. I'm pretty careful when I sell, though. So I don't think I would sell something like that, but And I can't think of like, oh, I'm missing my dingleberry gloves. Like I can't think about like exactly what I'm missing, but it just feels like I am. Quite a bit of stuff over there, but it was going down quickly, and I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing right here. Oh, I was redoing. That's another thing. I know I keep coming up with all these excuses for my performance, but sometimes I'm doing clarity on the whole group, and I don't want to like. So then I have less. First of all, it takes time to clarity the whole group. Second of all, that's going to take like half of my mana bar. And usually I'm doing clarity and then aug, which is another thing that takes like half my mana bar, and I got to click on every single name and I'm not giving aug to the cleric, obviously. But sometimes an enchanter just did clarity to everybody, and you bring a huge pool, so it takes them an extra second to mez. That's all I'm saying. Back to the conversation from earlier, like, what do you guys think's the best tank? I used to think it was warrior, then shadow knight, then paladin, and now I'm starting to think maybe it's shadow knight, then warrior, then paladin. Like paladins are good and everything. I'm not saying they're bad. Like they're right up there. I would take any of the three. Just feels like when you got a warrior, dude, they got so much HP. They just feel so crazy, like a crazy tank. And when you got that SK, they keep aggro so good. The paladins got lay on hands and heals and stuff and buffs, but are they the best at keeping aggro? Are they the best at having the most HP and stuff? I don't know. I think that's what I would say. Paladin's third. I can't decide in the first two. Got that. And tell my pet to get on that. Oh, they're fighting a hag now. So I'm trying to. See, that's the kind of situation where I'm like, maybe he was... He didn't say anything, though, so he's not that bad. Probably healing himself. Yep. I don't know how he kept getting so much aggro, though. I know healing does get you aggro, but... Like, immediately? Why don't you wait to heal? I don't know. Now she's got a ghoul from somewhere. There's a werebat. At least it attacked me, so I have a second to realize. Alright, there we go. I kept on thinking her pet was something else, jumping in. Looking pretty good, though. I can't believe I still have this monk, because look at his health, though. Bang. Eat dirt. Alright, so we got the full group. Let's see if we can find something exciting. Oh, I tried to charm a hag, which is a mistake. Oh, and Sprinkledorf died, so let's see where he dies. Let's see if we could have done anything. Alright, so we're already fighting stuff. Okay, we just killed it, though. What happens here? As soon as I decide to skip ahead, it's something exciting, of course. Incoming, a festering hag. Sprinkle. He's not the puller. He got a little bit too excited, I think. Oh, and I was sitting there talking to Trey about healing my pet. Where are these hags? Dude, like 3 hags and a skeleton. He just died too fast. What you know? See it again. I'm looking around like, where are these hags? Here they come. There's one. There's a dry bone. I think it popped. That might be his problem. This thing popped. Right? He's mez though, look. I mezzed it pretty quick, so that's... There's hag, hag. I had to mez this dry bone, right? It popped. So maybe if this didn't pop, we would have been okay, but he does die rather quickly. Look at his health. I run around, I turn to get like a better view on everything, and by the time I turn back around, he's dying. He's trying to heal himself. That enthrall just takes way too long. Maybe I shouldn't have ran over there. I should have stayed in the heat. I just thought I would have time. And then I charm a hag. Which brings one out of the fight. This is enthralled. They got two hags there. I'm trying to get the angle. So that's what happened. Something popped, and that kind of screwed everything up. It's hard to get it like right on the spot. John Madden replay. Wish I could draw on the screen. And it won't let me get to the exact spot. So stupid. Anyway. Now the audio's bugging. Alright, let's just put it back on normal and finish this video. I wanted to see what happened there. I don't know where my audio went. The Sprinkle died, but he gets a level 60 Cleric res, so no harm, no foul, right? Waiting on 3 hags, yeah. Let's skip around. So he gets his res. Ooh, here's the 3 hags. This is pretty cool. We waited and waited for this because we wanted to be ready, because you remember what happened last time. So now I understand what happened in that fight. He pulled 3 hags, but a skeleton popped at the fireplace right as they were walking into the room. I mez the 1 skeleton. If I had done mesmerization on the 3 hags, I would have been the one to die. They would have resisted. At least, I bet you 2 of them would have resisted. Mesmerization gets resisted more than you think. You can't just AoE mez everything, and it only sticks for like 3 seconds, 5 seconds, something like that. Maybe it's 15, maybe I'm exaggerating, but it's short, and it gets resisted. If I could throw an AoE Tosh first, and then throw an AoE mez, maybe. But just throwing out an AoE mez against 3 hags, that's like a death. You might as well jump off a bridge. Here we go, 3 hags. I'm there, I'm at the stairs, I'm ready, I'm targeting. So I know it's coming. So I got 1 lockdown. I got 2 lockdowns, so that's about as good as it can get. This is like my redemption. Alright, something happened. I got a new pet, and he broke. Of course. Right in the middle of the 3 hag fight, my pet breaks. And then he interrupts me. So I'm sitting here dealing with this pet the whole time. Luckily, my mez is stuck. So they didn't even notice. I was over here fighting my pet. But see, we can handle 3 hags. If it's done right. Get in there, send the pet. I lost my weapon. My pet died eventually. He was on low health for a long time. See the hag doing the AoE, knocking the pet down? If you fight enough hags, man, it's hard to have a charmed pet, because they just keep losing health. Unless if you're going to sit there and memory blur, that's the only way. But I just wanted to see that. Maybe see my ding. Oh, look, the paladin's got that giant polearm thing. It's pretty sweet. Right there. Sometimes stuff just looks so cool, you gotta use it. He said he's working on his piercing. Opaline earring drop. The other Enchanter got it. She got quite a bit of good stuff. If I remember, she got at least 2 or 3 things. I remember passing on a couple things. But it was a long, good group. It was like the same people. I mean, Kenosis just left, I guess. And then Trey's talking about leaving. Then Enchanter decides to go. I'm talking about helping soothe. I wish I could have got a target on something quicker there. I don't know. They're both on different things. Here we go. There we go. Cool. Come on. What are you doing? Why is he still casting? What happened? Somebody hit it. We got this mage. This mage, I remember now. I shouldn't even have said... I shouldn't even have apologized. She kept putting her pet on stuff that was messed. And she could back it off. And it roots. You can back it off. It's not like an Enchanter pet where you can't control it. Yeah, this mage wasn't the best. So I probably shouldn't even have felt bad. She kept breaking my mezzes with her pet. And her pet freaking roots. You can back your pet off and then I can remez it. But she didn't. She kept breaking stuff. I don't know that it ever hurt us though, so shout out to that. But it was kind of annoying, is all. Like right there, you saw her do it. You never know if you're in a group with somebody, they might be recording, so do your best. It's cool to have like 3 pets up here. Oh, I got 30. Let's see if we can hear it. Here it comes. And this will be it. I did get the gloves, the 25 mana gloves, but I don't feel like looking for it. One thing that happened was I hid the corpses, and then there was the gloves that I needed, so I had to have somebody else loot it for me. There might be a command to bring back the corpses, but I doubt it. I don't know. I hid corpses without knowing that I needed something on one of them, and then I couldn't loot, so I had to have somebody else loot it and give it to me. So luckily they did. About to hit my hell level. First hell, level 30. I got you a dad camp, though. I got it. So check me out next Wednesday. It's working great. It's a little bit hard, but it works. And once you get used to it, and if you watch me first, you'll probably be okay. You won't die as much as I did to start. I did die a few times getting used to the camp. But now I haven't died in a while, and I figured it out. I figured out what to pull where and what to have do what. Like, I know exactly what to pull, and I know the timers now and everything. Before, I was figuring it out. I was calming stuff. I was seeing what was linked to what and everything. But now I can, like... I figured it out, so I'm good. It's still a little bit dangerous. There's the ding. Ding level 30, baby. Let's go. And I think I'm going to cut it there. Like, share, subscribe. Consider joining. It helps a lot. Tell your guild about the channel. Comment below. Remember, subscribe. If you're still watching, subscribe. You can turn off notifications or something. You know I'm going to put out a video every Wednesday, so you don't even need them. And then, like, you don't have to deal with the Gems of War stuff is live streams anyway, does it? So, you know, just turn them off. Turn off the notifications to the channel. Don't let that make you unsubscribe. Like, I need subscribers, y'all. Make me feel better. Don't let me quit. Don't let me quit. Freaking subscribe, please. And I'll see y'all next time. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.